everybody, welcome back to another fun-filled week of the Pitching Ninja Show. I am Pitching Ninja, as always, here with the man, the myth, the legend. Nah, that's way overstating.
You're not that guy, Paul, trust me.
He's Will Leahy.
You're not that guy.
And sorry, Will.
Good stuff, Ninja. I can't disagree with you there, though, because I've just completely jinxed my beloved Red Sox. They stink now. Right after I said I was just happy with the team and management, they did nothing at the trade deadline, and they're in third place by 7 games. They did have a walk-off grand slam yesterday, but they're going to need more than that. Chris Sale's back. He's doing awesome again. Another outrageous performance by him. What did you think of that, Ninja?
You know, did you know? I don't know if you've noticed, but he varies velo with his fastball so well. I was like, is he hurt again? Is like throws an 89 mile an hour fastball, then follows it up with a 95 mile an hour fastball. It's so much fun having him back. I mean, baseball is better with Chris Sale in it. You know, you say you didn't get anybody, but you did get Chris Sale back, and things don't happen right away. Give it time. They're not out of it.
So last week was a sensational week for pitching. This week, great week for home runs, led by the one and only Miguel Cabrera, just an absolute legend. His resume speaks for itself. I think his Triple Crown actually went a little under the radar, considering it's the only one anyone's hit since 1967. But something that shocked me here was how far back everyone else is. Have you seen the list of active home run leaders here, Ninja? We got the God Pujols at 677, followed by Miggy at 500. Then we drop to Nelson Cruz at 443. He's 40 years old. Then we have Robinson Cano, suspended this year. He's got 334. There's only 9 guys above 300, and only 25 guys, including Todd Frazier, above 200. It really shocked me here how far back everyone is.
That is kind of surprising, but it also shows you that a lot of the talent is young. You've got a lot of really good power hitting dudes coming up, and it shows you how special it is. Cabrera, just a great ambassador for the sport. I mean, I think everybody loves the dude. He's fun. I don't know if you saw him messing with Ohtani at first base. I mean, he's a good character and paying the game forward. And there'll be more guys not more guys like him, because not only is he a home run hitter, but his average is insane. And he's just, one of the all-time great hitters. But if you look at guys like Soto and Tatis and Acuna, I mean, there's a Trout, obviously. I mean, the game is in really good hands.
You just mentioned Shohei, and he had a special blast this week, not only because it was his 40th, but it's because he did so in a game where he pitched 8 innings of one-run baseball. Just perhaps his best performance of the year. Did you watch it, Ninja? What am I asking? I know you watched it, Ninja. What did you think?
Of course I did. Every time Shohei can't do anything without me watching it. And as you know, I've been on him since he came to the league. Actually, before he came to the league, I was waiting for him to come up. And it is so much fun to watch. I do think that was his best pitching outing as far as being in control of the entire game. I thought the thing that you'll watch with him and is really impressive is the way he varies his pitches. Like, there were games earlier in the season where his slider was his dominant pitch. And I was like, that slider is as good as anybody's slider in baseball, basically a top tier slider. This game, it was all about a splitter, just dominant, nasty, filthy stuff with the splitter. Threw an occasional slider, and then I think he touched 99 with his fastball, but the splitter was really what did it. So his ability to switch dominant pitches is amazing. And I mean, just think if he was a pitcher only, how good he would be. I think he would be better, but I never know. Actually, I don't know, because he said he pitches better when he hits too, because he likes the ability to carry the game by himself, which is crazy.
Now here's a wild home run stat. Nick Castellanos, he's been getting beamed a lot recently, just getting pegged with the best of them. I don't know if this is because pitchers don't like him or what, but he's getting hit all the time. And however, the last 4 times he was hit, Joey Votto followed it up by hitting a home run right afterwards. The last 4 times. Mathematically, there's like a 1 in a million chance that happening. Votto hits a home run every 25 at bats, so for him it's closer to 1 in 400,000. But for the average hitter, it's about 1 in a million. Just insanity. Then we had the hardest hit home run of the year by Manny Machado, 119.6. I thought this ball was going to land in front of the left fielder. It's a jack. I believe it's the 4th or 5th fastest home run hit since StatCast started tracking in 2015.
He's gigantic, by the way. Remember him at the All-Star game? That dude is a big dude.
Yeah, shocker here. I would not fist fight Manny Machado. But the ultimate recognition, the long dong of the week, goes to Tommy Pham for actually hitting the long dong of the year, at least in the major leagues. 486 feet. Now you might be asking, Will, this is at Coors Field. Does it count? And to that I say, you bet your buns it counts. He absolutely spanked this ball. Look at it. It was absolutely crushed. Felt like I was back in the Derby, reliving my glory days of July. Just great stuff, fam.
And now, PitchingNinja's Top 10 Filthiest Pitchers of the Week.
At number 10, we have Little League World Series star Gavin Weir's slider. This looks like a Chris Sale slider here. Absolutely filthy. The kid has given up like one hit in his last 570 pitches, had 15 Ks in this game in 5 2/3. Just tough stuff for these kids to hit. And if you have an opinion that this kid is going to get Tommy John or something, talk to your friends about it. Keep it to yourself. Kid's 12 years old. I mean, gee whiz.
But also, me personally, I would take Chris Sale's career and with a Tommy John. So,
100. So that's the other thing. Like, you compare him to Chris Sale, and I was like, well, Chris Sale needed Tommy John. Well, Chris Sale also has like $100 million. At number 9, Walker Buehler's 93-mile-an-hour changeup. Like, Walker hadn't had much of a changeup before this year. He's broken it out, and it is nasty, and it is hard. Like, 93 miles an hour is a major league average fastball, and this is Walker's changeup. At number 8, Charlie. We have 2 Effins back to back. I didn't even do this on purpose. Charlie Effin Morton's curveballs. Like, Charlie Morton is pitching as well as he has ever pitched in his career to me. 3,000 plus RPM curveballs. I think a couple of these are 3,200 RPMs. They're nasty. Like, Charlie Morton is pure filth, and it's time for people to recognize Charlie Effin Morton. At number 7, Marcus Stroman's split change. Talking about adding a pitch, Stro added the split change this year, and it is maybe his nastiest pitch. He K'd Muncy on this, and you can see Muncy just tossing his stuff. Absolutely disgusting pitch. And, Stro's another guy flying under the radar a little bit. He's got like a 2.84 ERA, and has been pitching great. Just didn't get any run support. He's like this year's DeGrom. At number 6, we alluded to this earlier, but Shohei Ohtani's splitter, off the charts filth. You cannot hit this. You can't sit on his slider, his 99-mile-an-hour fastball, and then have this. And it is one of the most unhittable pitches in baseball. At number 5, Brusdar Graterol, 100-mile-an-hour sinkers. Like, this dude is insane. He looks like he's barely trying to throw, and the ball just comes out. It just explodes. And no wonder why his nickname is Bazooka, because he clearly has a bazooka for an arm. Yes, he could get more swings and misses. A lot of times sinker ballers don't get it because sinker ballers are almost pitch to contact pitches, even at 100 miles an hour. But I can see him taking his game even further to the next level. Dude is insanely talented and throws 100 miles an hour with seemingly less effort than I throw BP. At number 4, Blake Trinan's insane sliders. We talked about having the lowest batting average against of any pitch. Blake Trinan's slider, at least during the week, had the lowest batting average against of any pitch in baseball. We used to look at his sinker and look at the movement he gets on it, which is wicked. It's cartoon-like how his sinker moves. But then his slider is equally cartoon-like in the other direction, and now he's mixing it with a four-seam fastball instead of his sinker, which, as a hitter, if you're throwing a sinker and a slider and both have a lot of depth, I'm just eliminating upper part of the zone and looking down in the zone. Now with a four-seamer that he's playing up, he can throw his slider off that, which is making it even nastier. At number 3, Sandy Alcantara's 95-mile-an-hour changeup. Yes, I said 95-mile-an-hour changeup. This is insane. Like, if most college pitchers throw 95, they're high-fiving somebody. 93 is about the major league average fastball, and this is a 95-mile-an-hour changeup. And dude threw a 101-mile-an-hour sinker at about his 100th pitch of this game. flying way under the radar because he pitches for the Marlins, just filthy as can be. At number 2, Triston McKenzie's curveballs. Like, Triston McKenzie has been on fire lately, and this curveball is the main reason why. These things just drop off the face of the earth. Struck out Ohtani 3 times on these curveballs, and like, you can see why they're so nasty. And now mixing that with a elevated fastball is giving hitters fits. At number 1, Aaron Nola's two-seamers. Like, these two-seamers are about as pretty a pitch as you will ever see in baseball. He had a perfect game going into the 7th inning, front door, back door, just basically glove side command of that sinker. And they are just like, I think he had one that ran 21, 22 inches. You give up on this pitch and it comes back and catches a strike zone, and it is so pretty to watch. Love it. Aaron Nola at the top spot. Next, we have one of my favorite pitchers out there, Triston McKenzie, who's absolutely killing it right now, and who makes my Pitching Ninja top 10 filthiest pitches of the week. Why did you have to do my man Shohei like that?
Also, I had to take a picture of him yesterday, which is, I was like, he's so cool. I was like starstruck, but I felt like I was just really locked in for his at-bats. Just knowing that he's leading the league with 40 homers, I don't want to be 41, so it's just kind of locking on that. I talked to him a little bit yesterday at the Warriors game, and he said the reason was he said, "Oh, your curveball is nasty," but he said I was locating my fastball very well, which I think kind of led to him swinging at the curveball. I feel like if the fastball is located, you have to respect the fastball, especially in the top of the zone. And then when you throw the curveball off of that, you just can't hold up.
You're a fun guy to watch. You look like you have fun out there. Have you always, like, did you grow up loving baseball?
Yes. I've been a baseball player my whole life. I played a little bit of other sports in like middle school, but outside of that, like baseball only.
What is it that, like, growing up, who was the guy that you would look up to pitching wise or playing wise, like hitter, pitcher?
So I mean, I was a big Derek Jeter fan. I'm still a shortstop at heart in here. But I'd say pitcher wise, it's like, I can't tell you how many times I've gone on YouTube and gone 1999 All-Star Game, Pedro Martinez, and watched that video. Watching guys like Roger Clemens coming up who like throw power fastballs and literally just dominate guys with their stuff is like how I grew up wanting to pitch, and like keeping guys off balance, but not trying to fool them by like pulling away, like always being on the gas pedal and like competing aggressively.
It just seems like you have almost unlimited potential on the bump. Like, you're starting to put it all together, and if you replicate this over and over again, it's just going to, keep taking off. What do you feel like? Like, what is your next level? Or are you just taking every day one day at a time?
I feel like a lot of what I've been doing as of recent is trying to just focusing on being in the present. I feel like even in my good starts, there's mistakes that are made, and it's always about like trying to like fine tune and like make it perfect, I guess. It's just like, I watch and I idolize guys like Corbin Burns. I watch and I idolize guys like Jacob deGrom, who like, it almost seems as if like they go, oh, I want to heat her down and away, I throw it in that spot. Oh, I want to slide her down and away, I want it that spot. And it's at like 94, and you're like, those are video game ass stuff, and you're just like, you just try to replicate it.
Who was the guy that you were most, awestruck? Like, you're like, hey, I'm out here competing against this dude.
Miggy was my very first strikeout. It was like, I got my first 2 outs in the inning, and I literally like saw him walk up to the plate, and I had to like step off the mound and like gather myself because I was like internally freaking out.
Yes, sir. Hell yeah. Like, all right, the last couple of ones I've had to have people use socks. Rodon used a baby baseball.
When talking pitching, it's almost necessary to have a baseball around. Right now, I really only throw fastball, curveball, slider. But my fastball, I always hold like this. So just because of, you said little things like make a difference in terms of like finger length, arm speed, arm slot. My middle finger is a little longer than my pointer. So I always hold the ball the same way. So the horseshoe's open towards my pointer finger, so that the seams kind of like fit. It's almost like a groove. They fit my, so that when I release the ball comes off the same time. They come off the seams at the same time, and I get like a true back punch. Fastball's here, And then my curveball, I normally just go at the top of this horseshoe right here. And I try and tuck it as deep as possible and create a little bit of separation so I feel the ball almost like along the inside of this middle finger. So that like when I start to rip it or I really want to get on top of it or throw it hard, I don't feel like the ball's gonna get away from me. I can get to the front of the ball and I can get that true like on top of it feeling and feel like the ball's not necessarily coming up out of my hand, it's coming straight out like my fastball and going straight down.
And that's exactly what I see is it doesn't pop. So that's why you're getting those swings, why people think it looks like a it looks like a fastball. It's not popping, even though it's got a huge drop off.
I come kind of here and the ball almost
mostly middle finger. Is it that it's middle finger dominant?
It's honestly, I feel like I could take my pointer finger off of it and I almost press the ball in with my thumb. So I feel like I could hold it and throw it almost like this. But my slider, so if my fastball's here, my cue is literally I crawl up to the next seam. So I kind of create that off seam feel where my middle finger gets a little more dominant, but it's not necessarily on the side of the ball like my curveball. And I try and throw it as much like my heater as possible. So I creep up on the seam and then I give the ball a little bit of a shift. So I go here. So my pointer finger's almost on, it rides the seam. Mm-hmm. And my middle finger is on top of that seam right there. So it almost feels like a fastball coming out because both these fingers are on. And then I try and throw the side of the baseball and create the spiral movement, almost like a football, but I try and throw it hard. So it's almost like a cutter, but I try to create a little bit more depth with it. So I call it a slider.
So it's been another great week of the Pitching Ninja show. Until next time, I'm going to K-Strut on out of here. Keep throwing flames.
Strike three!